I decided that after Revenge of the Scapegoat, I needed to do the boxer shorts prompt for the readathon. A comfort read. Yeah. And then I remembered it's not on my cart of books that I pulled out at the beginning of the month, but on my shelf I have a Fraggle Rock, a graphic novel. How comforting is that? The other thing is that this is gonna be such a quick read. Like, it's gonna boost my Shorty September numbers. Hooray! Bum 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 ba-da-dum bum bum ba-da bum 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 ba-da bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum. Ditch gears away. Boober Fraggle is most definitely my favorite Fraggle. Wembley's a close second. I just finished my breakfast, coffee, so I figured let's have a little morning chat before the kids and I decide what to do with the day. Finished this last night. I almost couldn't finish it before I fell asleep. I started dozing, but I did. I was like, there's no way I'm going to stretch this little graphic novel out for so long. There's that light bulb on the ceiling. It's going to create an awful glare, so I'm trying to block it with the book itself so you can actually see the book. Anyway, Fraggle Rock. We all know Fraggle Rock, right? Jim Henson Muppets. I don't know. These would have come after Sesame Street. I think these are like an 80s thing. I was born in 86, so I was target audience. My mom says, you know, when she would get ready for work, she would have me in the little, we call them pack and play now. I don't know what they were called when I was a babe. I don't know, but you know, the little baby holder that you stick the kids in so they can't get in trouble. And she said I would, you know, just kind of stand staring up at the TV watching Fraggle Rock while she would get ready for work. So always have loved them. Actually, oh, too far. I have like these little miniature toy figures that were from my childhood, and I still have, my mom still has like all like the little McDonald's Happy Meal toys that we used to get, and like just other little figures that we collected as kids. We were laughing the other day because she still has our California raisins. Raisins. Anyway, so this is just pure nostalgia, comfort read, happy childhood times, to kind of come back from that wild ride I was on yesterday reading this damn book. This was, I guess, cute. It doesn't really give like an introduction to Fraggle Rock, the place, and the Fraggles, like a species, and like how they're set up. And it didn't feel like a first episode at all. Knowing the little idiosyncrasies of each Fraggle, I could identify in the book that like he's the nervous one, but he's the absolutely anxious, paranoid, scared of everything one. She's the like spacey yoga one. She's the brave, high energy one, and he's like the one that holds them all together. Like, so that's Gobo, Moki, Wembley, Boober, Red. But you don't get any of that character setup from this. I grabbed this at a comic book store near my mom's house one day, like years ago, like when I was kind of just starting to like build my library and just starting to read graphic novels, and I realized I prefer this like glossy, floppy, bind up over like fragile paper comic books. So I saw this and I was like, hello, must have. My husband spoils me and he bought it for me, and then I never actually read it. Oops. So I don't know if there's a series that it's better to read in order, and this is just the one that happened to be on the shelf. I asked my husband, is it sad that like as I'm reading it I can hear like all the individual character voices in my head? He said yes. He thinks that's pathetic. I think it's quirky. I could not wait to get to the end. So in this story, The Journey to the Everspring, there's a drought in Fraggle Rock. The water's disappeared. They go down deep to what they think is the Everspring. It's just a like deeper colony of doozers. They're these little tiny things that like build structures for the Fraggles to eat. So they find this colony of doozers who their water supply is low also. So they're like, well then if the water's not here, where is it? And it turns out that there's a bunch of trash blocking where the water comes from. So all that trash. And so they clear it out, and then where's that trash gonna go? And if you know the story, above ground, so the Fraggles live in tunnels under like our world, but then there's also like somewhere where they come up and there's these oh my gosh, what the heck are they called? Gorgs or something? They're like big hairy ogres. And in their yard they have like it looks like a leaf pile, but she's Madam Trash Heap. And there's these two like weird like ratty looking Muppets that whenever the Fraggles go to talk to her, they go, you are in the presence of the all-knowing trash heap. And so I couldn't wait to get to that part and like hear it in my head. I don't know. But I had a fun time. Wednesday I stopped at the library. I showed you my stack, but I never actually showed you what I got. So in addition to Revenge of the Scapegoat, I showed you that I picked up When Women Were Dragons. And this is for my book club, which meets next week. And it is not a shorty. So that's why I'm really trying to like blast through shorties this week so I can then start this one and get it done by Wednesday for book club. I picked up Present Tense Machine by Gunhild Oyehog. I believe she's Norwegian. Yes, Norwegian poet, essayist, and fiction writer. So I don't know how to say her last name. This book sounds so weird. I'm really just trying to avoid that glare so you can actually see the cover. And then, of course, it's like the shiny library copy, so that doesn't make it any easier. Those are quotes. Let's see. This says, on an ordinary day in Bergen, Norway, in the late 1990s, Anna is reading in the garden while her 2-year-old daughter, Laura, plays on her tricycle. Then, in one startling moment, Anna misreads a word. An alternate universe opens up and Laura disappears. 20 years or so later, life has gone on as if nothing happened. In each of the women's lives, however, something is not quite right. Both Anna and Laura continue to exist, but they are invisible to each other and forgotten in each other's worlds. Both are writers and amateur pianists. Both are married. Anna has 2 more children after Laura disappeared, and Laura is expecting a child of her own. They worry about their families, their jobs, the climate, and whether this reality is all there is. This sounds like a book, right? I'm so excited. I have no way, here's the prompt list. What I have left is a beautiful cover, a modern classic, unreliable narrator, beach read, and I did Boxer Shorts, the comfort read. So It's a fine cover. It's not, I don't know. So I might have to make up my own shorts and stray from the prompt list. All right, then I got Father Guards the Sheep. This is a collection of stories by Sari Rosenblatt. And there is absolutely no description of what sort of stories these are. But some of the like review blurbs, review blurbs say that this collection is populated with characters who are humane, sympathetic, and lovably askew. Rosenblatt's 8 stories are polished, perfect gems. Rosenblatt writes with the great good heart and wit of the very best Grace Paley and the miraculous pop and fizz of sentences that go off like fireworks. You will laugh and cry your way through these stories, seeing yourself and the men, women, and children you love, sometimes with breathtaking accuracy, at other times reflected in a funhouse mirror on each and every page. So those are really excellent blurbs to catch my interest. Damn light bulb. Father Guards a Sheep. Maybe that could be a beach read because it's stories. I think short stories make for good beach reads. And then I think Owen picked this one up at the library for me. This is A Mirror Mended, and it looked familiar, and then I realized it's a sequel to this one, which they also had there. Spindle Splintered, A Mirror Mended. These are like lesbian twists on fairy tales by Alex E. Harrow. I read The Once and Future Witches by Alex with an I, and it was way too long. I really liked the way she reworked like fairy tales into witchcraft and blended in like feminism and identity and suffrage and then like this whole witch hunt element. It was so fun. I loved that book, but it was way too freaking long. So these are itty bitty. I think that's perfect. So I actually started the audiobook for this one last night. I'm gonna have to go back and like reread stuff because I would kind of set the sleep timer, and then like I had a rough night sleeping, like a lot of like doze wake. And so when on the wake, I would turn the audiobook back on, rewind it a bit, put the sleep timer on, and fall back asleep. So I have some backtracking to do to like fill in some blanks, and then I'll continue with this. That's it for today. That'll be my boxer shorts vlog for today for Fraggle Rock. Happy Friday.